back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello everyone, welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. Happy Monday morning. I see there's just a handful of people on the stream here this morning, but that's okay. I suppose probably the most important thing here is just we're consistent. And unfortunately, you all know that Brian's birthday is coming up here shortly. So you've heard me talking a little bit about what I've seen in the past around my birthday in crypto. So waking up this morning and seeing a bit of red on the screen, I suppose that makes sense. But having said that, you know, PMA for the win. Let's try and stay positive. In fact, actually, there's a few names I'm trying to buy. I'm trying to sort of break my, for lack of a better term, I guess, break my ledger swap. I think it's DeFi. I'm not quite sure if it's DeFi or not, but anyway, my cherry here, I'm trying to buy one particular coin through the ledger, and it's been a fun adventure. But wow, gee whiz, the Ethereum fees this morning were just insane. So I thought maybe I'd just refrain from that, and I do see prices are falling, so I don't think there's a huge hurry. I would definitely not recommend quote unquote trading off of the ledger. That doesn't make any sense. And especially with the insane Ethereum fees. But if you are accumulating positions, it's not a terrible idea. You just have to be really patient and just wait for your levels. And you're going to have to maybe even deal with the lack of liquidity in the space right now. But anyway, so that's what I'm dealing with now. But if anything, I do like the idea that the market's coming off a bit. And, you know, this is the only business when stuff goes on sale, nobody wants to buy. So if anything, good to see stuff is going on sale and I want to buy. So I will be buying over the next month or two. You know, a bit of a stressful situation all around the new term school. And actually, I have to say, I was kind of surprised. We have far more students than I was even expecting this term. And I do see that there is a number of people that did sort of chime in last minute, which is pretty typical. Hey, can I join? Can I join? Hey, you know, did I miss the deadline? So actually, I was pretty pleased when I heard the numbers reported this morning. Yeah, if anything, slow and steady wins a race, PMA for the win, all that kind of fun stuff. And you know, ironically enough, you know, I don't really need to do a sales pitch now for it, but I haven't seen anywhere else online that teaches you the framework of building a small business of trading as effectively as we've done here at TRI. I know there's a lot of places that will teach you like, oh, use this indicator, you'll make great money, or you know, trade this particular market and you know, you'll do awesome, or maybe this particular setup or stuff. But I have never seen any education program that incorporates, you know, like, okay, what's your trading plan look like? What's your strategic vision? What's your tactical plan? You know, what type of risk taker are you? So that tells you what kind of participation you're going to do in the market and stuff like that. So I'm super proud of the site. And, you know, I was even giving a shout out to Chris this morning. He's a consummate professional. I mean, with very little guidance, actually, I can't show you, but he has just the most, you see that weekly newsletter that we were broadcasting yesterday, you know, just those kind of documents and work. And, you know, Josh on the back end, just doing a fantastic job working away with Sjord, trying to get this platform looking all nice and prim and proper and all the T's crossed and the I's dotted. So I'm very proud of the TRI team. They're a bunch of really, really good people. So I'm just going to keep on trying to just be the best Brian I can be. try and make a positive difference in this world. That's what this is all about. And just slow and steady wins the race. If we have to take a month or so, maybe even a couple months, really I've shown you repeatedly what I think the year 2023 is going to look like. Well, so be it. That's just the way markets go. And you can't push a chain in this world. I can absolutely tell you, you cannot push a chain. So you just, if 23 is a bottoming year, then so be it. This is not the year that you're going to get rich, and if anything, what I'm really worried about is, seeing the meme coins and stuff like that pumping. That's usually that's usually a sign. In fact, I was even saying it in Colin's show there the other day, that's usually a sign of the end of the bull. They always say the skirt, right? That's our word for merd. The skirt rises last, right? That's what we used to always say in the stock market. So anyway, okay, a little bit of a rant there to start off. Gee, it's already 17 minutes past the hour. What time did we start this, Chris? There's no way I've been blocked. Okay, yeah, cool. All right. So 6 minutes of blah blah blah. Let's get on with it. News in the world, not really that much that really sort of jumped out at me. I suppose, I mentioned at length the interview with Miss Booth there the other day. She did at online. There were a few videos that I made reference to in that broiler chicken show yesterday. It's probably worth you watching. And she kind of pointed out, and I've heard a few people say this, that technically the U.S., like the U.S. government, USA Inc., fiscal year end is in September. So why Granny is beating the drums about debt ceiling issues here in June, July is a little bit of a mystery, other than it's just pure politics. And frankly speaking, I'm not overly impressed with Granny. I think maybe she should go back, maybe even consider retiring. And actually, I'm hearing a lot of people actually calling for Mr. Powell to retire too. I think he's made a lot of mistakes. And unfortunately, when you're driving the bus of the world economy, I have to tell you, I've told you this many times, and I've even shown you the quotes. Alan Greenspan was probably, in my opinion, probably one of the best U.S. Fed governors, but he made it a habit to not talk, not say anything. In fact, it was like famous in the 1980s for a quote when he was talking to the Congress that, hey, if you actually understood what I'm saying, then I'm being way too clear. Yeah, you're not supposed to understand. I'm supposed to be talking double talk. And really, you're supposed to not really get a message from me, because you can clearly see how Mr. Powell has just been stunningly wrong. And he's been, fairly arrogant through this. Like, I know I'm the man. I know what I'm doing. And, you listen to these Fed governors and they're just as bad as anybody else. I always say, your opinion in the market is meaningless and you're probably going to be wrong. The opinions are worthless. Just trade your setups. No difference with government people and banksters. They're all the same. There's no change to any of this. So anyway, point being that, here's yelling going on about calamity. When, we've actually already picked this apart. This is politics. She's playing politics right now, which is a little bit disappointing. But anyway, I suppose that's the job of the socialists, to try and inject as much fear into people as possible to justify governments overstepping their bounds and, basically bigger and bigger and bigger government, which I don't think is really a good thing. But anyway, that's just me. I suppose on a good note, and it's actually interesting listening to the tone of the conversation around the market. I mean, Lamborghini is all the rage now. Now, how can you be in a world that's collapsing if everybody's out buying Lamborghinis? Like, what the hell's going on here? So I thought that was interesting, kind of also interesting too that, like Tyson, we're all worried about inflation and stuff. But I saw that Tyson Food announced that, actually, they're not going to make as much money this year because meat prices are falling. So, oh God, it drives you crazy, all the cross currents here in this world. I suppose, sadly, if anything, probably a sign of our times, the sort of mass killings and stuff by the populace is still going. I suppose you could argue in an overpopulated world, probably have to get used to this more rather than less. But on balance, not really. Not really seeing anything that's like, oh my goodness, did you see that in the news? I didn't really see anything along those lines. Also, too, it's a Monday, so I every day, of course, and now hopefully I can sort of be the demonstrator of best practices for you guys. So you can start to see that this schedule is filling out, and if I was going to teach like a trader boot camp or something like that, this is basically the life that I think you lead as a trader. So you want to sort of set yourself up for success. I always start off the day with, how's the computer doing? And actually this was interesting because I think I have to reboot the computer here. TradingView is having a little bit of hiccups this morning. Actually, I wanted to take an opening range trade there in crude oil, but TradingView wouldn't execute the trade for me. So it turns out it was a losing trade. So, well, go figure. Diet seems to be relatively good, although I could use losing a bit of weight. Probably that's more a question of exercise. I should probably put an exercise column in here. Sleep, okay. I mean, I found it fascinating at, I had this funny condition develop because of the COVID vaccines that I took. That's the only way to describe it. I've never had any major health issues in my life, and then all of a sudden, boom, take the vaccines, and now I got all these fucking health issues. But I had a relatively good sleep. I mean, it wasn't a great sleep, but relatively okay. As you can see, made note about TradingView. Econs, it's pretty light day econ wise in the market. We're talking, especially, if you ever see these international sort of news agencies and stuff, and you notice that really all they're talking about is overseas news and overseas econs, that must mean it's a pretty slow news day in North America. So we don't really have a heck of a lot of econs driving price action. That might be one reason why you're kind of seeing things a little bit waffly today. I am hearing that, of course, we are in the middle of earnings season. So there's a lot of chatter about companies meeting and missing expectations. Apple late last week did come out and actually beat expectations. So as a result, demonstration wise for you guys, I had an Apple short setup from a long time ago. I think it was like last year that we put on, took partial profits at 2 to 1s, and then just put stop to scratch on remaining. And they came out pretty strong. And so first thing this morning, I just closed the rest of the position out. And that's probably the wise thing to do. So I did notice, and we're seeing a bunch of these tech companies do this. I mean, the irony of it all is that this thing will probably, M out in some sort of fashion and then start working its way back down. We always say V bottom should be tested, and there's tons of gaps. I mean, there's a gap right there. I think there's a gap right there. There's obviously a huge gap right there. There's a gap there. There's a gap there. And of course, this is a huge gap. So my hunch is at some point in the not too distant future, we're going to roll back over and head back down. But you don't know how high this high is. So, our plan was that if we did come back to scratch, we'd just walk away on the remaining. And so that's what I did. But I will say that I was actually a little surprised to see how strong the broader market was, because we actually started out of the gate pretty weak. But you can see there's the NASDAQ led by like Apples and stuff in the world. And probably if we put on a market carpet, you probably see that the tech stocks are probably outperforming here. Well, there is who's that guy? Some little guy. AMD. Ooh, a semiconductor name kind of firm. Yeah, not really huge gains. Where is well, there's that guy there. FTNT Ford. I don't even know who the hell that is. Anyway. It's like financials catching a bit of a bid. I heard Berkshire had a pretty good Buffett had a pretty good quarterly conference call meeting with participants. And actually, interestingly enough, he's starting to chime in about how the US government is just spending way too much money, printing money like a drunken whore, and they got to bring in their behavior. So ironically enough, I'd actually say, I think the onus is really on old man Biden to try and get his act together and quit being such a ridiculous socialist. And ironically enough, and is this part of Klaus and the whole World Economic Forum? I don't know. But, his little cousin up here in Canada, substitute drama teacher, same sort of thing. And I have noticed over the past 6-8 months, we don't hear so much rhetoric out of them now. Actually, there's Apple right there. It's kind of unchanged. But anyway, so hopefully the socialists try and get their act together. But you can see we're kind of waffly here. This also maybe is kind of a sell in May and walk away kind of environment. And I do, believe it or not, I actually do think I like the idea that Bitcoin is a leading indicator in this space. You can see crypto, kind of a tough day. But I don't think it's really news driven. If anything, kind of like how you see Apple is up, but not really up that much. And really the broader market kind of flat, 1/8 of a 1/8%. That's a little bit more than that. Maybe 1/7 of a percent increase there on the Dow. ES is basically flat. And actually interesting, I guess that's the NASDAQ actually down a little bit there. So go figure. Anyway, it's kind of a flat day in North America. And I guess where I was going with all of this is Econs very, very light. So we didn't really have anything major coming down the pike. And you can see that later on this evening, we've got some data coming out of Australia. And what's interesting about that is I think we have a fairly significant data point coming out later on in the week. And I get the impression that a lot of the market is probably just going to sort of sit on its hands. Wednesday, we have the big inflation numbers coming out in the States. And I have a feeling that that's probably what the market's going to be pivoting around. And oh, gee whiz, that's the day before whose birthday. So on the big birthday day, it looks like we have a bunch of data coming out of Great Britain. We have PPI, which maybe will come in a little better than expected. Who knows? On my birthday, maybe the market firms up. Who knows? But, sell in May and walk away. So, I don't think that should surprise anybody. So point of the matter here is relatively quiet news day, relatively quiet econ day. Market's kind of drifting here today. Now, one thing I suppose, so I wanted to deal with news and econs to begin with. So one thing I did want to mention here, somebody had brought it to our attention yesterday when we spun the wheel. That hey, I said my name in, and what the hell, man? I did this. And I think he literally went through every single name on this list and said, "Where the hell's my name?" So I actually, and I don't audit this statement. So, or that's not, I guess, audit the list. So I just simply said, hey, Josh, he's our PMA guy, and he's got a wonderful PMA spirit about him. I love that about Josh and all these people. Chris, Stuart's such an angel. I'm so privileged to be surrounded by all these people. Anyway, Josh said, hey, I'll look into that. Let's see if I can help. So to that end, and I don't really want to discount Mr. Hrack, but Chris had pointed out that this gentleman was not on the current list. So if it was his fate, maybe he was supposed to be in here. And we haven't heard from him. Somebody even gave him a shout out. So if you do know him, then, by all means, reach out. But we haven't heard back from him. So to that end, to be perfectly fair, and of course, we're all about karma here. So, I just want to try and make a positive difference in this damn world. So let's have another spin. What the fuck, eh? Let's give away 2 seats. So Chris took some effort and put together the updated list. And so Mr. Chad, if that is your real name, hopefully you see your name on here. I don't know whether you do or not, but I think we're going to limit it at 2 spins. But here we go. Why don't we'll spin the wheel, and then maybe we'll go on and look at things like Bitcoin and altcoins and stuff to finish off today. So without further ado, let's see if we can make another person's life positive. Here we go. So winner of version 2 of Q2 2023's level 1 raffle is Danielle Alves. Woohoo! There you go. So we have another winner. Winner, chicken dinner. And you can see this is official. Chris has even put a date reference right on there. So Danielle Alves, if you are out there, you've got 24 hours to get in touch with us, because keep in mind, school term's starting pretty soon. Anyway, reach out to us and let's see if we can make a positive difference in your world. So in fact, here we'll even say, what do we say? Version 2? I don't know. Second attempt. Try to be fair to everyone. We have another winner. So PMA for the win. And there you go. So someone get in touch with us. Talk about making a positive difference in this world. We're just spitting out karma here. So Danielle, if you can get in touch with us, let's get you in the school program. Okay, anything else I really wanted to mention here? I think I'll probably leave it at that for now. Take a quick boo at the dashboard, I suppose. And, I do find it fascinating that the, actually, here, let's go back to where we just were. Do you find it fascinating? We have one gentleman, Johnny Chicken, and he actually really likes, or I really like his sort of interpretation that he doesn't really like to take signals unless all 3 of these are all pointing the same direction. You see that the S&Ps have been kind of sanguine for the past little while, even though the breadth indicator has been pointing up. And I have been long. There was a gentleman who was asking for signals of when to get in and get out kind of idea. And I try to post on these kind of charts exactly where all the algo signals are. I don't know whether this rolls back over negatively, but I'll tell you, I'm starting to get smiles in the marketplace. And anytime I see the market smiling at me, it gets me concerned. So I don't know, maybe we exit here this evening on the algo signal if it crosses back bearish, but we're still technically long here. And of course, oh boy, you can see that's not a good image. And woke up this morning, this low, which is pretty important. Now this is stamp, every exchange sort of slightly different. We are, we did hear, I think we talked a little bit about it yesterday. I don't know whether the situation's been resolved or not, but Binance had done things like suspending withdrawals of Bitcoin from their site. And I think that sort of got people starting to freak out again a little bit. I did see sort of your funds are safe and all that kind of talk. So I don't know, but the long and short of it here is this low here, 27,666. Interesting how they stopped it right on 666. You swear, like this is, I see this kind of stuff happen all the time on Bitcoin. I mean, didn't you guys find it kind of interesting that back here, well, just have some fun if you want and go and look at the major pivot highs and lows on Bitcoin. It's shocking the numbers that they actually print for the actual pivot. So 666, we all know who's running the show here in planet Earth anyway, but interesting level that the price stopped at there. Anyway, today's low, 27,617. That is below 666. So they did take out that low. And I suppose this is a 4-hour chart. So on the sort of conclusion of 4-hour candles, if we see a candle body close below that level, that will actually give us a clothesline sell signal as well. But we do have an intraday bar signal there. And that, I think, is basically this setup. I've been posting this for a while now. And it sure looks to me like this thing is just setting itself up. Julian, of course, is a big fan of RSI. I think a few people on the site like RSI. But, I guess the problem that I have here is this now looks like a new M coming in on RSI. That's never a good sign. As well, we do have a couple fog and bomb levels now. This fog and bomb with this low taken out now, there's that 27,666 number. So our low here, 27,617. This fog and bomb study now is alive. So I think my initial profit objective here has to be this 2491 area. And I think what this really is where's Colin and his pump chasers? There we are. I think that's what the conversation is now, is that we're probably going to have to dip down into that zone there. There's the fog and bomb level. There's a previous key high. Also notice too, this little swing low here. That's probably a pretty important level unto itself. And also too, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's just about exactly the midpoint of this massive megaphone that we've been following for a while now. So put it all together, folks. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. And that's exactly what I said in the lounge this morning. I ain't going to sugarcoat this. You all know, there's Brian, and there's the midpoint of that megaphone down there. That's at about, what does that say, 22,789 area. There is that fog and bomb. That's the bigger one, and then that will confirm on a break below these lows. This is just now this little M here that's fired. I mean, like I said, there's no point in sugarcoating this. I mean, you can see all these momentum indicators. Nothing is pointing up there. Where the hell did all the buyers go? They've disappeared. Probably the one thing that's sort of like a phew kind of thing. But of course, if Binance comes out and there's something blows up over there, or maybe, indictments and all that kind of crap, the bears will come out. For the time being, the one good part about this breakdown here is we are not seeing just an absolute flood of selling volume. So yes, price is breaking down, and on a 4-hour chart, like I've said before, it's probably back over here. On this 4-hour chart, we're doing some damage here. We've kind of broken this uptrend line. In fact, our rule is, because this is kind of a valid, actually interesting. No, this is not a valid market structure bottom yet, because we never did go through this high up here. That's interesting. Anyway, I would be inclined when I see this kind of image, because this sure looks to me like maybe A to B. Let's see if we can get that to cooperate. There we go. A to B, and then clone that. C to D. we have hit if I was doing like maybe a 30-minute chart with you guys, I think this actually did complete a bearish bot setup on the lower time frame charts. I think I had that laid out. And actually, I even put a tweet out yesterday when I came back from Liam. I was like, holy crap, the lunar eclipse just kicked us in the nuts. I mean, you can't get any more clearly defined than that. I was quite surprised when I saw that. I thought I had that chart open somewhere. Yep. All right, thanks, man. Maybe it was over here. Oh, you know what I did? Actually, I think I separated these two. Yeah, there it is. So there is that bearish 30-minute bot. I mean, and I even put a tweet out. There's some people that are seriously questioning the value of what I bring to this world. Remember, guys, I'm not going to tell you what to buy or sell. My whole point here is I've been playing this game forever as a prop trader, as a stockbroker, as a financial planner, as a commodities broker, as an options derivatives broker. I mean, I've done every job. I know how the game is played. There are a few setups that I personally really like. And this is one of the setups that over the years that I've really come to really enjoy. I call it my bot setup. I'm not going to go into the description of it, but hopefully what you see here is you literally could not define this any better. I'm always looking for 3 lower highs and market structure to set up off of the 25 level of this AB equals CD harmonic pattern. And you literally could not have gotten a better short entry trade signal than a break of this low right here, which was, what was that low? 28,826, and move stop to scratch at 50% of the anticipated move. Notice we never did get back to scratch. Then start locking in profits at 2/3 of the anticipated move. So I'd use the 3 high-low method at this point. So 1, 2, 3, I would have my stop up here, but I have my stop at scratch, so no big deal. Market makes lower highs and lower lows. So you see lower high. So I can now at this point start counting backward, 3 high lows. So 1, 2, maybe I have my stop there now. Then boom, we dumped into the profit objective, and you should just ring the register. Ding, 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 done. So, I mean, it's just absolutely textbook trade setup. Take a screenshot of that. You want to just mimic this and practice it on your own, right? You're learning on YouTube for free. That's my karmic gift to the world. Now, if you'd like to participate in the education program where we lay out everything step by step, great. You're more than welcome to join us. And FYI, if you still want to join us, feel free. But this is basically what I'm going to be teaching you as one of the 2 setups that I teach in the level 1 program. The other one's called the El Tangonator. So there you go. And I think that played out basically right on cue. I mean, just absolutely textbook. So can Brian trade? Well, I don't know. This is what I do. So if you get some value out of this, awesome. If not, well, then maybe go and find another person to try and learn how to trade with. I don't know. It's up to you. So that's sort of where we're at. If anything, if I was taking those lower time frame setups, I'd be sitting on the sidelines right now and sort of cooling my jets. If I'm trading higher time frame setups, this is now a daily chart. I actually think that there's a relatively attractive risk reward setup coming in here on a higher time frame basis. In fact, this is the El Tangonator setup, right? We're looking for a move back to 50% levels on bearish momentum divergences after M tops have come into the market. So actually, interestingly enough, these are the 2 setups that we like to teach you in the level 1 program. One, it just completed. The other one, just starting. Go figure. We'll finish off this video with just a quick boo at the poop coin market. As you can see, a lot of red on this screen. And this is what I was really worried about for the crypto universe right now. And I had even on the site laid out that it looked to me I could actually start seeing some of the darlings in this space. I think this Rend was like one of the darlings, and I think down the road it'll do really well. I don't have any concerns about that. The only issue is, did this maybe just go a little too far, too fast? I mean, look at that move. And this is what people don't understand in capitalism, and they always get wrong, is that you can only stretch the rubber band so far, and then it has to start doing all this correct technical correction stuff that I bark to you guys about. So I actually think that there were short setups actually working on names like this Rend. You can see the pretty little M top right off of the bot level. And so here's a really good example of the bot just working away, doing its thing, and it's almost come into its profit objective here. So I'm very leery. And then, of course, remember, right? Sell in May and walk away. How does crypto usually act around Brian's birthday and all that kind of conversation? But, I'll just leave off this free broadcast with just a quick boo at, I want to actually take advantage of these pullbacks and buy into weakness. And so here's a really good example. I'm going to try and buy this on this ledger thing that Sjord's got me using. And it's fascinating to watch the ETH fees and all that kind of stuff. I can actually justify being long from this 4.2 area and basically risking down to the bottom. So I am having a bit of fun with this. The good part about it is now I can actually go in through the ledger, and I think it's DeFi 1 inch. I think that's who that is. I can get filled here, but the ETH fees are through the roof. So I'm having fun just sort of breaking my cherry and learning how to get using the ledger to actually do transactions. Yes, I know it's listed on KuCoin, but I'm actually trying to force myself to wean myself off of centralized exchanges, and I'd like to really try and do my best to actually get myself just working off of the ledger. Anyway, and DeFi and all that. So there's your market state for you. Be careful here, kids, please. You can see there. And the interesting thing is these things often go down 2 or 3 times as fast as they go up. Well, I suppose he's not doing too badly. Well, yeah. Who knows how the hell these stories are going to end. I can see a big head and shoulders here. I mean, I just happened to pick that, but you can see these percentage moves. They can be pretty big. So just be careful. And if anything, I've said this repeatedly, the dashboard 5s and 6s, all that kind of stuff. As long as this message still persists, we're basically near the bottom end of the range, and the moving averages are relatively positive on the like weekly charts and stuff. I'm still relatively bullish of this space, and I'm still going to sort of have the attitude that I think pullbacks are buying opportunities. So I think we'll probably leave the rant at that for today. Like I said, not really much econ wise, not really anything huge news wise, that's going to drive the market. So there wasn't anything really pressing for that. Wednesday, we have the inflation information coming down the pike. So, obviously Wednesday is going to be an important day econ wise. And what the hell, hopefully we made a positive difference in another person's world. We corrected a small error that we have. And Danielle, if you can please reach out to us, let's get you hooked up and make a positive difference in your life. All right. Have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. All the best, and bye for now.